All right, everybody. So today we're going to talk about, we've talked about our warm and our cool colors. So now we're going to make a composition with warm and cool colors. So we're going to start with our background. We're going to make a sunset with our background. So here I have a ruler and I have something to write with. You should have a pencil. I'm using a Sharpie just so it'll show up better on the camera. But you should use a pencil so that you can erase if you need to. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line across the bottom of my paper. Make sure your paper is turn horizontal. That means long ways from side to side. So I'm drawing a line from one side to the opposite side. All right. So that's the horizontal line. That will be my ground. That will be the ground. So this line is my horizon line. The horizon line separates the ground from the sky. Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to lay it so it's vertical and I'm going to make a rectangle. This rectangle, notice I'm drawing a line on both sides of my ruler. So I didn't move my ruler, I drew a line on both sides. Okay. So if I put my ruler back, I just want to close it at the top. I'm going to draw a rectangle. All right. Then we're going to draw a shorter rectangle here. And then we're going to draw a taller rectangle here. All right. So drawing those rectangles side by side. Now behind the rectangles, we're going to put some horizontal lines. So I'm going to line my ruler up with that line down there. Notice I stopped right there at that line I drew. And I'm letting my ruler sit there. And now I'm going to draw a line and stop when I hit my rectangle. So I'm going to draw, stop. I'm going to jump over it. I'm going to draw and stop. I'm going to jump over it. Notice I'm not letting my ruler move around. I'm holding it nice and tight. And I'm skipping over my rectangles. So it goes behind my rectangles. I'm going to move it up and I'm going to lay my ruler back on top of my new line, the line I just drew. I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to repeat the process. So I'm going to draw until I get stopped. I'm going to jump over it. I'm going to draw until I get stopped. I'm going to jump over it. I'm going to draw until I get stopped. I'm going to jump over it. I'm going to draw until I get stopped. Now I'm going to move it up. I'm going to put my ruler right here on the back. And I'm going to repeat that process again. Draw until I get stopped. There is nothing to stop me this time, so I'm going to go straight to the third tree, or third, what's going to be a tree. So I'm going there to the next rectangle, and I'm going behind it. Again, I'm going to take my ruler and put it right behind it, and I'm going to do that process again. So I'm going to go from one side to the other. Nothing's stopping me this time. I can go all the way. I'm going to come down. Again, nothing is stopping me, so I can go all the way. And then I don't need to do a top because it's enough spaces equal to the rest of my spaces. So this is how your paper should look. Now, you're going to then choose warm or cool color. So we're going to choose the warm color team. We know that the warm colors are colors like red and yellow and orange and pink. Those are all warm colors. They spell out Roy G. Bibb's first name, which is Roy, ROY, which stands for red, yellow, and orange. So, or red, orange, and yellow, I should say. So we have our warm colors. We can also use some brown, even though brown is an earth tone color, but you can use some brown in there. But you want to stick with your warm colors, your warm colors. And we're going to make patterns like we did on our last project. We're going to make them in each section. So some of the lines that you said you enjoyed, you can do. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see that. So you can see my lines that I'm making here. I'm going to just draw them. I'm doing zigzag lines across. All right. And I may decide that I want to take some red lines and I'm going to put them in here, maybe some vertical lines inside of my stripes. And maybe I go this way in the bottom part of my triangle and I do some diagonal lines. Of course, this will look a lot better if I was using a ruler. So maybe you might want to consider using your ruler. But I'm going to go all the way across. I'm going to do that all the way across. Okay. When I get done with that, then I can paint in the spaces in between or I can color the spaces in between. But again, I want to use warm colors. So I'm going to grab my paint. 1 second. So I have my paint tray here. And you can see my lines. I'll keep making them across the top. So I have my lines. And I think I went the wrong way with my lines, but it's okay. So I'm going all the way across. All right. And now I'm going to paint that in with a warm color. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and some water. I'm going to grab some watercolor paint. I think I'm going to use yellow. And then I'm just going to paint right on top of my crayon. And I'm going to fill in that space. All right. When I get done with that space, then I'm going to go to my next line and do the same thing. When you get done with all your lines, it should look like this one. So I have done one. So now you can see how it looks when you're finished. So you can see that I've had my spirals here and it's not picking up the color as well as I would like it to. Let me see if I can darken the screen just a little bit. Maybe it might pick that color up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. So now you can see my colors a little bit more on the screen. And you can see down here at the bottom, I used a cool color, which is green for the grass, but I put some yellow highlights in it, some yellow spirals. I also did the same thing in my tree trunks because these are going to be tree trunks. Notice I didn't use any cool colors. I only used cool colors for the grass. Everything else was a warm color. So the lines were warm colors and the painting was warm colors. So this is our background. I'll be coming back to you with a second video to show you how to do the treetops and what we're going to do for that. That's a separate video. So don't lose this paper. Make this look very neat. Make it look very nice and take your time. Again, you're only using warm colors. So your reds, your oranges, and your yellows. Maybe even pink, because pink and red are the same color. And maybe a little bit of brown. Um, if you want to use green for the grass, that's fine. But green is a cool color. So just keep that in mind that green is a cool color. All right, friends, I'll see you in the next video.